Hearing none, then the minutes will be filed as presented. We're going to go ahead and move on to old business. I'm just reviewing what we did last meeting. So we reviewed Chris and Roll. We had a follow-up, or I don't know why I wrote that. Character education curriculum we reviewed. We voted on, and it has been presented to the board.
Yes.
We reviewed just required fentanyl education, health priorities identified for 25-26. We had Ms. Bright come in and talk to us about nutrition and all the good things that they're doing here in London. We went over some SHAC procedures, just public comment policy. So if we did ever have anybody come in, we talked about having like a 10-minute kind of window. And it's not for discussion, we're just kind of hearing them out. And so that's pretty much what our last meeting was. Does anybody have any questions? Cool. Okay, we're gonna move on to new business. So we have a presentation regarding the Corpus Christi Pregnancy Program and the Esteem Health Curriculum presented by Christina Yee. She's a Youth Outreach Coordinator. This presentation is a discussion only, and so no action will be taken. We're just listening to the program and see what it's about. So you have the floor.
I have brought some samples, and so there are 5 sets of workbooks. So if you have a child that's in any of these grades, it's 5th grade through high school, so maybe you want to help me see who would like a copy of those. There's going to be a workbook A and B. For the A is going to be non-sensitive topics, and then B is going to be sensitive topics, so make sure you have 2 workbooks. And then I'm just going to make sure that everybody also gets a flyer.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if anybody needs more flyers, I have plenty.
Embark is our high school, so we have A and B.
All right, thank you.
So that's just going to briefly outline what the program is about. And then this is an example of a leader kit. I'll keep it, but if anybody wants to look at it, it is for 7th grade.
That's it.
So if anybody wants that, I can pass that. So I'm just going to go briefly through the presentation, and then leave a little bit of time for questions. So Dr. Salazar and I had met
Last year?
last year.
Maybe, yeah. I think it was about a year.
Last year.
Yeah.
And I had given you a list of the current schools that were, at the time, we weren't in any of those schools. We were in the Justice Center, but now we're in 6 school districts. So the newest one being Ingleside, but we're in CCISD, Taft, Mathis, Oda Medroy, Port Aransas, Ingleside, and I don't remember if that was 6. Yeah. Yes. So those are the 6 districts we're in, and we're kind of in the approval process in a couple of other ones.
But those have already been approved, everything, and you're in now.
School board approved, we're already teaching in all 6 of those districts. And so just to kind of let you know what's going on in South Texas. And this was the first year that we had ever introduced it to this area. It's currently in hundreds of schools in Texas, but this was the school that we landed on, and it had not been in any of the school districts here. And so it's new to our area. It is a total health curriculum, and so if you're familiar with the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills, TEKS, the STAR test and all of that, it covers 100% of all of the TEKS. And so what's nice is a lot of the districts appreciate this curriculum because in the 14 lessons, it is covering all 30 character traits that are in the TEKS. It's covering fentanyl, it's covering suicide, it's covering trafficking, it's covering adoption, the newest legislation from 2025. And so it is comprehensive in that way. It's kind of a one-stop shop. So a lot of schools like it because they don't want to fly in the expensive presenter to talk about that one, subject. We're going through it. The other thing that we like about it is it's analog, so it's workbook based, which a lot of the kids are kind of excited about, that they have personal journals, because generally speaking it's Chromebooks and nobody gets a textbook and you can't write in it. And they enjoy it. They're not great writers. They're really poor spellers. But they enjoy writing their commitments down and writing their reflections down. And, you know, we tell them the research about how handwriting and the motor skills are so important to retention. And so that's why we use those personal journals. And so the grade levels that we cover are 5th through 12th grade. And like I said, it covers all the TEKS, but it also covers all of the current legislation, whether it's the House bill or the Senate bill or whatever has come out through 2025, it's current. And so what you're looking at right now is the 5th edition. This summer, it's gonna be the 6th edition will come out for next semester, next school year. So if London were to adopt this curriculum, you'd be seeing the 6th edition with the most updated, medically accurate, you know, and everything would be in there. It is a primary prevention program, which means that it's based on a sexual risk avoidance program, so that's just the new name for abstinence. So it's going to be an abstinence-based program, very, very family-friendly, very conservative, and so it's aligned with a lot of the family values in our area. The different, so there's sexual risk avoidance, there's sexual risk reduction. So that's going to be the programs that come in and say, you know, we're going to tell you about how to consent. We're going to give you condoms, you know, that kind of program. So we're not that, right? We're the opposite of that. In the 2 workbook pack that you have, the first workbook has the non-sensitive topics. So it's going to go over nutrition, it's going to go over vaping, it's going to go over fitness and goals and character and all of those things that are in the TEKS. And then the last workbook B, the last 5 lessons are going to be those sensitive lessons about trafficking, pornography, sexually transmitted diseases, puberty, fetal development, things like that, but age appropriate. So 6th graders are not going to get 8th grade material because that's not Texas standards for 6th graders. And so it's very specific to age appropriateness. So what's cool about this curriculum is it is approved by the Health and Human Services and also by TEA and the State Board of Education, which means that it is eligible for schools to utilize the Title V grant. It's the abstinence grant. And so funding already exists. And so a school would just have to write a letter of, what is it?
Like a proposal?
Memorandum.
Oh, the MOU, yeah, memorandum.
MOU,
Yeah.
thank you, Memorandum of Understanding. And so it's not an application, it's not a contract, it's an MOU saying, we're gonna be using this, you know, please allow STEAM to, you know, send the books and the trainers and all of that. And so it is completely free to school districts. One school district has decided not to use the grant because they only wanted part of the curriculum. If you use the grant, you need to use all 14 lessons. And so 1 out of 6 of the school districts are doing it that way. They just purchased the student books. We came in and taught the lessons. So that is an option for school districts if they don't want to go through the grant process, which is pretty simple. So it can be completely free to the district, which means that every student will receive a student book, teachers will receive a leader kit, we'll come in and do a full day training, and then we'll provide a parent preview night, and all of that will be completely free to the district. And then usually the question comes up is how is this going to be implemented? So we've done it multiple ways. We customize it to the school district, but ideally it would be in classrooms. So in a setting of less than 20 to 30 kids at one time. And then of course the sensitive puberty and fetal development lesson, we split up the genders. Yeah. So the smaller groups, the better. For their own application and understanding and discussion and all of that. And so that's how we like to do it. We have done it in band halls. We've done it in cafeterias. We've done over 100 kids at one time. It is not ideal, but if that's the only option a school has, that's how we do it. Very difficult. And then as far as training goes, most of the time we do our trainings in a PD or a staff development or a professional development 8-hour day. And then we train the teachers, coaches, counselors, nurses, whoever's gonna be involved to teach those non-sensitive lessons. We usually offer to teach the sensitive lessons. Some school districts like to do that on their own or bring in other people. But we're able to do that, of course, free of charge as well as your local agency. Yeah, so just really quickly, let me skip through here. So of course it's emphasizing prevention and risk avoidance. Local assistance is the Pregnancy Center of the Coastal Bend. These are just the health standards and the alignment charts, the TEACs. So the website, these are the 5 books that you're looking at right now. The website looks like this. So right now we have the 5th edition. So if you were to go to esteemjourney.com, this is what you would see in the front. And then parents and school leaders are able to put in a password and review every page of every book. Okay, so I can give you that password. But they can go on a tab and read every single word. And this is what the schools like, is that we make a commitment to the schools to teach what is in the curriculum. So we're not bringing any graphic videos in, we're not gonna have strange discussions about gender, issues that's not in the curriculum. So we're not gonna have those discussions, we're gonna direct them to their safe adults in their life for that. So this is an example of some of the pages. This is lesson 12 about abuse and the sensitive topics, and we just talk, it's a lot of red flags. It's a lot of how to break up with someone appropriately. It's a lot of giving them practical tools to deal with stress, to deal with suicidation, things like that. So what's cool about this curriculum too, what I really liked is it was a community effort to write the material. And so it's got parents, teachers, youth, all kinds of community involvement in writing the curriculum. And then there's also an opportunity for any school that has had experience with it to give feedback and include that in the next edition. So in the leader kit, just really quickly, every student gets a student book, and then of course the teachers have the answers. But there's quizzes that schools can use and the teachers can use. There's quiz answers. And then my favorite part is conversations, continuing conversations. So that's questions that the kids can ask their parents based on the lesson, and then that the parent can ask the kids. And that can be sent to the kid, sent to the parents via link or with a worksheet. And so we really like that. The teachers are given a thumb drive for additional like slides and things like that, and then there are games in every leader kit. And so those are provided to any educator that's going to be teaching the kids. So that's an example of the conversations. I've tried them on my 16-year-old. They're not too boring. It brings up good conversation. This is more for a parent preview night. So if we were going to implement this program, we would, this is kind of the order of the approval. We'd start with the SHAC, we'd do this twice, and then recommend it to the school board, etc. I like this. So this has the most recent legislation, of course, the opt-in forms. So we would need opt-in forms just like any other sensitive topic. And then most recently, there's teaching about adoption options, which that's the most recent Senate bill, and that's included in the curriculum as well. And just real quick, this is kind of how it could look if we were to implement this program. So the first few lessons, for example, the CPR and the Heimlich maneuver, a lot of times a nurse will do that one. A nutrition person or a nurse might come in and talk about food. Counselors would talk about mental health, things like that. And then we would come in as the local agency to teach the sensitive. That is optional. We would love to do that for you. And this is really more like grant documents. Parent permission forms can go out as Google forms or hard copies. We like to make those available at like open houses and meet the teacher night at the beginning of the school year. See if there's anything else. Yeah, these are just the teeth. So this is an example of a page that you might find in the non-sensitive topics about ways to handle stress, things like that. And the kids come up with great things afterwards. Mental disorders, self-esteem, processed foods.
What is that right there? That last page?
This one?
Yeah, no, that one. What is that?
Oh, these are the TEKS.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So it goes over all of
Yes.
the TEKS for every grade and which lesson is covering that, just to make sure that we're covering every single TEKS.
Okay. Yeah, because that part is important to know that like it's covering the
Absolutely.
teeth,
Yeah, we're
right?
covering it all.
Everything.
Yeah. So, and then this is an example of an 8th grade sensitive topic about sending nudes and sexting and all of that. And of course, that's not as much of a topic in the younger grades. It's whatever the teachers say that we need to talk about. Yeah. So those are just examples of the different kind of topics that are in the book. Does anybody have any questions? I sped through that.
No, you did a good job. Y'all have questions, parents?
Is this, you have to educate me on what, like currently, do we already have a curriculum we're using and we're looking at options for changes? And it's just incorporated into their health classes or incorporated all around the district kind of in different ways? How does it work right now?
So K to 5, it's like in the classroom. And then at the middle school, like intermediate levels, I think it's 7th grade, is it where they have it in standalone class for a semester? And then high school, it's like a class that they take. So it just depends. And then like with these types of programs, you can decide to do them however you want. If you wanted a standalone class, you want to push in, you want a counselor to come in, there's multiple ways that we can do it.
So what's the curriculum that the 5th graders are using now?
We 5th grade is Goodhart Wilcox is 6 to 8,
Okay.
and then what did we get for? Oh my gosh.
So I like this.
I mean-
I reviewed that.
Okay, I'm thinking, but I don't think that's what we have K to 5.
Yeah, I think a lot of 5th grade and under uses Quaver, if that sounds familiar.
It's not Quaver. We have Quaver Music.
Maybe communities and schools. Some schools use that.
No, and not that one either. What did we get, Dr. Salazar?
So I will say that the curriculums that are in place, if you were to look and make sure that, like if you were to align it to the TEKS and the legislation, it may or may not
Correct.
hit all of those.
Yeah.
Right.
So just, it could be something that you're like, hey, can you just come in and teach these 4 lessons? We'll just buy the workbooks, you know. It's whatever holes that need to be filled, right? For some districts, it could be that. Yeah.
Because I know like one of the reasons why it was it again?
It's Catch.
Catch. That's right,
Catch.
Oh my
catch.
gosh.
Or they use it.
Sorry,
Yes.
Yes.
my brain went blank, but
Yes.
it's Catch.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that as sometimes it's difficult to teach those very sensitive topic areas, right?
Most school leadership don't want to,
Yes.
they're like, can you come in and do it?
Yes.
Which we're very happy to do.
Yeah.
And it has to be taught, right? That's
Yes.
what the teachers,
Must.
they
Yes.
have
Talk
Those
with
have to be-
parent
Yes.
permission.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Parents
Yes.
can opt in. Yes.
Yeah. And so, yes, you opt in to be able to be a part of it for these sensitive topic areas. But yes, it's something that we need to be able to provide to our kids. And then sometimes staff members you want to shy away from it,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
so we're trying to figure
I
out
understand that.
how do we end up being able to provide the kids with the education they need, the abstinence program, but also be able to have somebody come in to be able to do it if our staff are feeling uncomfortable doing that, that type of thing. So that's kind of one of the things when we visited a year ago, that was something that I was thinking, okay, maybe that'll be something that we can end up incorporating. But I want to be able to bring it to the shack and just see what you guys thought. That's why it was important for you to show us the TEKS, right? Because everything is TEKS aligned. Our math is TEKS aligned. Everything has to be TEKS aligned, and so.
And I think the challenge for a lot of the schools is the legislation. Because they keep on coming up with new legislation, how we fit it in, what core classes are
Yes.
going to be affected by.
Yep.
And so what's nice is that it's all incorporated into it, and it's constantly being, rewritten and updated and things like that. So we will ensure that those things are being covered. What was I going to say about that? So I appreciate that you guys had an answer for what is in place. Most of the time when I go to a shack, there's nobody really knows. And
Yeah.
so they'll say that they'll look it up, but it's usually like, nobody
Yes.
is in charge of knowing. And so I have a hard time getting that answer, so that's good. And I'm glad. Fortin is using Catch. I don't know that they're covering all of the health topics.
It doesn't have-
sounds great though. I like it.
It doesn't have the sensitive, I think it was the.
Yeah, I don't think it has the sensitive, but I don't know. Do they cover like suicide, vaping, like all of that? Or?
Yes, it just
Okay.
didn't cover a lot of the puberty and things like that. That piece was out of it. And I think our leaders decided they would have like an assembly, like to cover that topic because it wasn't in the curriculum.
Yes. And so a lot of schools do choose that. I would just say that the efficacy rates for that are low, right? In a presentation, there's a lot of kids not paying attention. At least they don't have fun.
Right.
But the retention of the information is going to be
Right.
low.
Yeah,
If that's the way that we need to do it, we do it, but that's not.
it's not preferred.
Correct. Correct.
You said that there was a password that we can have,
Yes,
just so
it's-
that we can share it with the others that aren't
I
here.
had that on the last slide. It's Health Journey 25. You can use Health Journey 26, but Health Journey 25 actually works as well. Let's see if I can get to that last slide. And these are the worksheets that we can provide at a parent night if they want to. It's tips about what online, websites are known for grooming and brain development and handwriting and all of that. Let's see if I can get to that. There it is. So Tanya is the director and founder of Esteem. You are welcome to contact her directly. I'm also going to leave my business card. Let's see. I thought there was a slide. It's Health Journey, all one word, Health Journey 25 or Health Journey 26 is the password.
All lowercase or all?
I think the H and the J are capitalized, but I don't think that matters.
Shanae, I know that last meeting we talked about you having to find and figure out a way to incorporate the fentanyl
Fentanyl.
education. So like if something like this takes over, then you don't have to find independent things to cover.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We're going to cover fentanyl.
And that was a big thing too, like trying to make sure that the rooms weren't too crowded.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how, the committee wanted it to be more of a
Smaller.
smaller setting to be more effective. So all these topics are kind of in line with that kind of topics.
Kind of brings in a lot of the different pieces into one. So you have PE teachers doing some of this, counselors doing some of this, we have Shanae doing some of this, so it kind of brings it all together.
So out of the 14 lessons, is one lesson, can that be taught in one class period?
Yes. So it's
Okay.
designed for 45 to 60-minute class periods.
Okay.
Yeah. Can it be done differently? Yes, but ideally.
And then you guys said that you'd be willing to come in and do part of it, all of it,
All of the sensitive lessons.
all the sensitive
And
lessons.
if there was
Okay.
something like fentanyl or suicide or goal writing or something that you would specifically like, hey, can you come in and do this? Absolutely.
Okay.
There are also school districts where because it's our first year, they said, hey, can you just come in and teach the first 3? Just get us started.
Yeah.
You know, show the teachers how it looks and give the teachers some confidence. that would, that is another option. But generally speaking, it's the 5 sensitive topics that we like to cover.
Does anybody else have any
Those are really good
questions?
I think so.
Okay. Thank you for the presentation and
Yes.
all that information. She did mention when I met with her about a month ago, she said they do come twice. They like to present twice to SHAC, just so that we can kind of hear, think about stuff, and then we'll hear it again.
Yeah. And if you want to share the website information with any other parents, SHAC committee members, so they can review it before the
what
second
we'll do.
meeting.
Sure.
But of course, the second public meeting, anybody's welcome to attend, but we need to have it twice before a vote.
Yep.
And can we keep the workbooks to, or do you need to
Actually,
take them?
I can leave a
One.
set with
Okay.
you guys if you'd like to review it. I'll just.
Stay here, what one's that? Say-
And then
Agreed.
Dr.
I
Salazar,
think I have
you had
high
given
school.
it back.
Yes, I had
So
given, yes.
I'll leave you a set.
I have
Okay,
a high
perfect.
school. Thank you.
Yeah, and just so you know, the 6th edition will be slightly different, just updated a little bit, edited, revised, this summer.
Thank you so much.
Generally speaking, the same content.
Okay.
Thank you again, and thank you for your time. Do they stay there full time?
No,
Oh, they
no,
don't have to.
Yeah, you probably have a voting for and stuff like that. She's like, you know,
You're welcome.
I don't know.
He didn't look at me. I was
Yeah.
trying to look at him.
Nice to meet all of you. Thank you so much for the
Thank
invitation.
you.
Yeah, we would love to come to the next spring one. and-
Yes. When we decide a date, I'll just share that with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Nice to meet you.
And y'all can get out, you know the way out?
Yeah, it's no
Okay.
longer around.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
I don't know. You could get lost. End up in the tech room.
You might. You might.
Okay. So that sounds nice. Again, we're just listening. I know we can talk about it some more.
And so you're gonna share out
Yes.
that password with all the committee members?
Yes,
You-
I'll look, because she sent out, I'll look for their emails and, I'll double check too with like a sender to see if, and then maybe Parent Square too.
Parent
I'll
Square.
send it through Parent Square. But yeah, I'll share their website and then I'll double check to see if it's capital, I don't know. I'll see with the
Try it
password
out,
first,
I can create a group in Parent Square for SHAC.
That would be great, because I was telling Sinead, I haven't gotten any of the emails about the meetings or anything.
Okay,
And so,
so I saw you, I thought you had an updated email, so then I
Yeah.
shared it, and then I went back to the meeting to share it with you, and I was like, you're already there with the email that I got from you. I
my
don't
husband's like,
know.
are you sure it's not your junk mail? No, I checked it.
I
But
don't know.
I think a group would be fantastic.
Okay.
Yes, that would be good.
I can do it.
I don't know. And I sent her an email Monday, and she said she got it, but then today I got, like at 3:44, it bounced back, and it said, undelivered, we'll try again in 20 hours.
Oh,
It was
okay.
very specific. Anyway,
Thanks.
I don't know, that was.
I agree with the group.
Yeah. Okay, so the next thing we have on new business is, I just was gonna review hearing, vision, spinal screening, just how many we've done. And I'm gonna let you know what we do. So vision and hearing screenings are conducted in certain grade levels, so that includes pre-K, kinder, 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, as well as any new students to the district in accordance with state guidelines. If we have students come in who are transfers in the state of Texas, I can get, if they've already been screened, then we can get the screenings from that, if it's from this school year. If they're new to the district and they have not been screened, then we complete a screening. For spinal or scoliosis screening, those are conducted on age or grade. We do by grade. And so girls are screened twice. They're screened in 5th grade, in the fall of 5th grade, and in the fall of 7th grade. And then 8th graders are in the fall of 8th grade, boys. So The acanthosis screening is conducted at the elementary and middle school levels. It's the odd 1, 3, 7. And so that's just screening for, to see if they have any diabetic screening markers. So we just look at the neck. It's a very quick screener. I did have parents calling thinking that we were drawing blood and doing all of that. We don't do that. I'm like, no, we just look at the neck. While I was doing hearing, I was looking at the neck at the same time. So it's a two for one. Yeah. So in vision, we've done a total of 755 vision screenings so far, and we've made 25 referrals. For hearing, we've done 726 hearing screenings, and we've had 16 referrals. For spinal, we've done 208 spinal screenings, and we've had 9 referrals. And for the acanthosis, we've done 560 screenings, and we've made 6 referrals. So once we do referrals, we'll follow up with parents. We've had a few already they've already seen their physician and have sent back. When you get referred, we send out a note saying they've been referred, and then the doctor will fill out their screening assessment. So we've had some come back, and some we haven't, so we follow up, and we keep following up until the end of the school year. And hopefully they see their physician for it. So again, all the screening information is just shared, just so you guys are aware. We do have, everything is, again, this year with the SB12, we had all opt-in. And if they were opted out, we sent out additional forms, and if they opted out, they could fill out the form, and that's okay. So just so you know, that's our process. Okay, do you guys have any questions? Okay, so we'll move on to a discussion of other health priorities for 25-26. So for this agenda item, I reached out to counseling staff, athletic trainers, just to get input from them, just get general information, general trends that they're seeing. I didn't ask for reports or any specific data. It was just, hey, what are you seeing? What are the trends? This is just in hopes, like, for us to kind of see, okay, maybe there's something that we see trending, and maybe we can kind of discuss as a SHAC committee, how else can we help our students? Mm-hmm. So for student wellness trends, counseling staff shared that anxiety continues to be a common concern across grade levels. There was different anxiety, I guess. Most, like the elementary said, mostly it's like separation anxiety and school related fears. A lot of them, like, they found that students want to just call home. They want to call home and just get confirmation that everything's okay, or that they're okay, and that their parents are coming to pick them up, and they're noticing a lot of that. For mental health supports, counselors are supporting students with anxiety, peer conflict, impulsivity, and emotional regulations. They found concerns in those areas, or that was kind of a trend from the campuses. And so what they do is they provide school-based services, and then if it's more than a tier 1 level at the counseling level at the school, then they have like a community resource, and they make referrals out. And so that's just what they're doing right now. Again, so at the school level, we're just tier 1, right? Like, counselors at tier 1. It's just, okay, we're not making like scheduled appointments, like counseling appointments. That again is a higher level that needs to see an LPC, LCSW. So we make those referrals out. The high school did mention that there's an increased concern related to anxiety, depression, and suicidal ideations. And so again, right now they provide school-based support. They have an intern who's providing individual support. If they get permission from the parent, then that LPC student is able to provide the counseling like they would if they went outside services. And then again, if it's beyond the school scope of practice, then they refer out. For nutrition and physical activity, the nutrition department, Ms. Bright, she didn't have any new updates from when she came the last meeting. And so there was no new updates for there. I got input again from the athletic staff and athletic trainers. And so common themes, I reached out to elementary, intermediate, middle school, high school, boys, girls. I just kind of wanted to see trends. Why? I don't know. I just thought it was good.
It's good.
I don't know. I just, trying to see what other supports we can find for our students. So common themes they found was increased fatigue in students, stress among student athletes, along with ongoing challenges related to hydration, nutrition, sleep, and recovery. A lot of them reported that students are not eating well. If they have morning practice, they're not eating before practice, they're not hydrating. They think that before games, just eating Chick-fil-A is good nutrition for them before a game. So constant from every level, they said, especially hydration too, is just not, they're just not, even though kids can have water bottles, everyone loves water bottles for some reason, they're still not drinking enough. Athletic staff, so this is the older intermediate, or not intermediate, middle school, high school, they found that a lot of our students have, they're not only in sports here, but outside, and so they're overlapping sports participation, and so they have limited recovery time, so they've seen an increase in injuries. But a lot of the injuries they reported are not happening here, they're happening at their outside sports. But baseball, they're having their select teams, then also getting hurt there, or having private lessons and all that, and then coming here and having additional. So again, the recovery time isn't there, so they're seeing a lot more of the fatigue and just getting hurt.
And then on top of that, you end up having, now this is just
No, you're fine.
my opinion,
Yeah.
is then they get home and then eat something and then go to their room and then they get on their device and just,
They stay up too late.
stay up too late.
Sleeping enough, so it's just, they're not,
I think
their
we
bodies
need
aren't
a
recovering.
notebook for their parents to do.
Yes. They did report some positive things, which is some of them do have good preventative care. I think the student athletes that they've been working with, like when they're telling them to come in for different things, they're coming in. They have good goal setting is what they reported, teamwork, and they have increased communication with families. So that is a positive. Again, this information is just being shared. I didn't ask for, they shared. I did get a lot of feedback, so I kind of just read through it and tried to find common themes. But I guess anxiety is prominent across the board. Nutrition, hydration is common across the board. So again, it's just for awareness, just to get us thinking if we want to start coming up with other things that we can help our students, especially like coming into the next year, we can start planning already. And so that's it. Does anybody have any questions?
Because one of the things that has been a benefit for our high school kids, the whole thing talking about screen time and those types of things, the new rules in regards to cell phones, I mean, it's done in my opinion, done tremendous things for our kids, because the cafeteria now in the high school is actually loud.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually talking to each other. They're doing, and because before you just see them, they'd just be on their screen during lunchtime, where they had their headphones in, just listening to something. But now they're actually visiting with each other, talking to each other, hanging out, and.
She was talking about just handwriting, right? And
Yep.
and I'm sure, you guys are educators, right? So you see it, but just kids don't have to write
Yes.
anymore,
I just thought the other day, I had a real random thought in the middle of the night. I have real random thoughts. I was like, kids will call home, but I realized like they don't have dial-up phone,
Yeah.
and so sometimes I'm like, you talk, and I'm like, why are they here? But nobody has phones like that, and we still have, dial-up phones, and they don't know what that is. So they hold it. I'm like, you put it to your ear.
Sometimes my kids will put it on speakerphone, and they're like this. And on
Exactly. they don't know how to use phones, so maybe we can add that lesson.
I will say, again, I don't know, what the current system is like, but if y'all were looking for a curriculum, I feel like this one hits all of the things that you were talking about. And it's done in a standardized way, and
Yep.
it's things that kids need to hear about, whether parents, honestly, whether they're comfortable or uncomfortable, it's things kids need to hear.
I like that every lesson has a parent component, so you can have conversations with your, and it helps guide the parents if they don't know how to talk about it with their kid.
Yeah, and I feel like especially parents in this district, they want transparency, right? So they're gonna wanna know what are they reading, what are they seeing?
Yeah, so that's really cool. So that was it for that part. So this concludes our informational discussion on district health priorities. Do you have any areas that the committee would like to explore further at a future meeting? And then I can put that on the agenda, or if you think about something, you can let me know, and then we'll talk about it and see if we can add
Yeah,
it
and
to
that
the
parent,
agenda.
what is that, parent square group that you can have?
Yeah, we
put in
can
there?
have the parent square group and talk about it.
That'd be great.
Yes. So again, if you do think about anything, we can talk about it and then put it on the agenda, and we can really have a good discussion. And maybe if we know about it, we can bring ideas already to the meeting. So we'll do that. We'll have the parent square thing and then go from there. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was, I did want to ask about our future meetings, because I know we now will have one in March and April, so one next month and the following month, because May was too busy. Maybe in our parent square we can have a poll to see for a date for the next one, and we'll do it soon so that we can get that in everyone's calendar before. And maybe Wednesday isn't a good day. Maybe, I don't know. Wednesday was a good day.
We'll look at it and see. I think it'll be good. I think it'll,
Honestly, any day, right?
Yeah.
You just kind of have to say, exactly.
but I think you're doing the parent square and you guys connecting that way.
And
I
you're
think it
gonna
would end up
bring
being.
like a nacho bar next time,
Yes,
right?
definitely will.
Margarita bar, Dr.
There you go.
Nachos will be good from Chewy's. Nacho bar from Chewy's. Okay, so if there is no further business, this meeting for SHAC is adjourned. Thank you guys for your time.